All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
What's up? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Wednesday, April 6th, 2022. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined today by Pride. How you doing today, buddy?
Chilling, bro. I just can't wait till Saturday. Can't wait for Aljamain Sterling to get his ass knocked the fuck out.
I'm ready for it. I'll probably be either watching it on my phone on the way home or either at a hotel.
Oh, right. You got business.
Yeah, we're going on like a 3-hour trip this 6-hour round trip this on Saturday, so we'll probably stay in a hotel, I would say.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, there it is. I'll turn the page the wrong way. No, this is a pretty good card.
It really is.
There's some pretty good fights on the prelims as well. Let me pull the odds up real.
Oh yeah, no, I was looking at the card earlier. Nice, solid, all around card. It really is. I like it. Obviously, we have the double, the co-main double champions defending. You got that good stuff. But yeah, I thought Gilbert Burns and Khamzat Chimaev, I thought they were gonna have a UFC fight night dedicated to themselves. I really did. I didn't expect it. Like, I thought they were gonna have their own fight night, and then all of a sudden I blinked. And then when they announced Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie, I was like, huh, let me take a look at the card. And all of a sudden I realized that was Gilbert is fighting Chimaev literally right in the middle of the card, and I don't know, that kind of surprised me a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie, kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I agree. I figured it would be a main event for, if not a pay-per-view, at least a fight night.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be a fight night, But hey, Uncle Dana knows what he's doing.
If Chimaev wins this fight, next fight has to be a title fight.
At the bare minimum, he's got to fight. I mean, I've heard people say that he has to fight Colby Covington or something like that. If I'm running the UFC, if Chimaev beats Gilbert Burns, he's next right after Leon Edwards. He should be getting the winner of Edwards Usman, who, this is ain't going to be spoiler. I believe, in my opinion, I think it's going to be Kamaru Usman, right? But let's say Leon Edwards wins. I think he should be, because this is going to be his first test, sure. But everything leading up to here shows you that he has the potential. He beats Gilbert Burns, and I'm giving him the winner of Usman Edwards because at some point you're gonna have to give it to him, and especially in a division where Kamaru Usman's starting to lap people, like now you're seeing twos and threes and fours and fives. You know what I mean? Like, it's eventually you know, you're gonna have to give this kid something. It's new blood. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
think it'll be a banger. I think it'll be exciting.
I
Him and
do too.
Usman.
Got Damian Hernandez is on with us.
You're
But no, I think it's going to be a real good fight. And Chimev has looked dominant.
Yes, he has.
Oh
Yeah, and I know people have been saying that he looks dominant against bums and whatnot. And my thing with that is, if you're a bum, you won't look dominant against bums. That's
yeah,
something we gotta take into consideration. Like Mickey Gall, he doesn't look dominant against bums. Why? Because he's not elite. That's just
yes,
the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? So yeah, people have been saying he's been fighting bums, but think about it. He's been beating these bums up effortlessly. And let's be honest, they're not all bums. The last dude he fought was that the Asian dude. What's his name? The Chinese dude. He beat
I
him
know
in
who
like
you're
a
talking about,
round.
but I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be a big test. And I was right. It was a big test. And Durant handled it effortlessly, you know? So, if every time you give him a step up in competition, he's handling it. I don't know, man. If he beats Gilbert Burns, we have to give him a title shot. No, I'm not saying he got to cut the line and cut Leon Edwards, because Leon Edwards has been demanding it. He's been deserving of a title shot for years now.
Yes.
But I think he should be able to get the next one. If he wins, like, and honestly, to me, maybe I'm weird here. I think it's how he wins. If he dominates Gilbert Burns, there's no excuses. If
Uh,
it's kind of close, then I would give him a top three guy then.
yeah,
Because
I can
Gilbert
see
Burns
that.
too. I think Gilbert Burns is the second ranked guy, so actually it doesn't even matter how he wins. I mean, maybe if you want to give him Colby Covington to just give Colby something to do. But you know,
Yeah. Well, when
I,
people say that he has fought chumps, you could learn a lot about a fighter when he's by the competition he's fighting as well. If they're struggling with the guy that's not any good, it's a lower level guy, and they're struggling with
mm-hmm,
them. You know they're not like you said. You know they're not elite. If you're elite, these lower level guys aren't even going to get close to you.
exactly right. Exactly. So I feel like that's something we need to take into consideration too. You know what I mean? He's kind of beating up all the low tier guys, but that's why now we're starting to give him, like, if you think about it, we've been gradually increasing in competition for him.
Yeah.
He's been handling it. So I think at some point we're gonna have to be like, all right, look, we're gonna have to have you know, his undeniable fight. And what I mean by that is it's the fight that you win where there's literally no longer an excuse on why you're not getting a title shot. And this is it for him. This is his undeniable fight. I believe when we get there, I'll give my prediction and whatnot. But um, as long as he wins, he's in a position where, like, you know this dude. I don't know if you saw the graphic. I thought it was a typo, but I realized it was the UFC. The strike differential, I think it was something for each landed strike of his for each time an opponent lands a strike on him, he hits them with, like, the projections or whatever was like in his entire career. It's like for every time an opponent lands a hit on him, he lands like 105.
Huh.
It was something like it was something like that. I'm gonna double check it and send it to you. But it was like from the official. I'm like, there's no way that's legit. Like, but at the same time, it kind of makes a little bit of sense because the way he fights, that pedal to the metal, that energy, that ferocity, dude, it's wild, bro. It's really wild.
This is one of the better cards they've had in quite a while, in my opinion. If you look from top to bottom,
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it. I really do like it. Like you said, the prelims is solid. It really is. I mean, and again, I don't. I didn't know maybe if it was just me or whatever, but usually I show up for like 3 fights. But
yeah.
here, I watched the whole thing, no problem. Did they tell? Did they ever announce the exact order yet?
I don't think so. At least I haven't seen it yet. Well, I guess I don't mean it hasn't been up, but no, I haven't. I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet? Because I'm curious. I'm curious if they're gonna have.
I know they moved. I did hear
Because didn't
a
they
fight.
move one from the prelims up or something like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which fight it was now.
Was it the Uriah Hall fight?
Who?
The Uriah Hall fight?
Oh, it was.
Because I saw something about Uriah Hall. He's not his upcoming fight or whatever. He wasn't able to do it. So I don't know if it was on this card
I think they moved
or if it
maybe
was.
it might be Matson and Pichel. I think they moved it to the prelims.
Oh, they moved it down. Okay.
I remember hearing something about one of them getting moved from like being like late in the main card, now they got moved to a prelim. I think it was that Matson's fight. If I
So
remember
who
right.
is there like a fight? Is there a fight taking its place or something, or is it like,
Yeah, I'm not
or
sure.
did they accidentally book 6 fights? Because usually it's five. You know what I mean? Usually the way the UFC books it is there's like 5 fights where it's like the first one's a banger, the second one's all right, and then they try to have the second one where it'll be like your bathroom break or whatever, and then they hit you with the three, you know, with the three hard hitters back to back to back. You know, I think that's how they try to do it. But then
They had to move something because I mean look, because on FanDuel when I was looking last night, they only had like 3 fights on the main card.
jeez,
Okay, here it is. They got it fixed today. You have
gotta
a
read.
first fight on the main card is going to be Volkanovski and the Korean Zombie.
No way, that's the first card. No way.
Or wait a minute, no, I got it wrong.
I think you're reading it top to bottom.
Yep,
Because I think something on
that's the
FanDuel.
main event.
Start with the championship.
First
Yeah.
fight is on the main card is going to be Mark Matson and Vince Pichel. Then
Okay.
Dern and Torres, Chimamev and Burns is going to be the third fight. And
Okay.
Sterling and Yan, and then the main event, the
Okay.
Volkanovski and Korean Zombie.
Yeah. So then okay. Yeah. So then they did. Excuse me. Then they did. Okay.
It might have been the Olenek fight that got moved down to the prelims.
I think they accidentally fucked themselves over and booked it. Which honestly, the UFC has done that before. They actually do that a lot. It's crazy. Like they kind of usually overbook them, and then they go oops, and then they kind of throw it on the prelims.
What you?
Which,
Let's get to the card. What do you think about the first fight in the prelims here with Daniel Santos and Julio Arce? Arce is minus 200 favorite, and Santos is a plus 160 underdog.
So for this one, I'll be honest with you. I would take the under. Um, I maybe it's just me, but then again, when let me just throw this out there. When I look at these cards, I look to bet. There's like 2 or 3 that I take the underdog on.
Yeah.
This is one of those. I'll be honest with you. I don't expect it to get past the second round. I really don't. I expect flurries. I expect a banger, and I'm taking the under. I really am. I'm believe it or not, this is actually the one of the few unders I'm actually extremely confident in. I'll take that under easily.
You like Santos?
I no, I love Santos. I
Yeah,
love
I'm
Santos.
on the
Let's
other
get out
side
there.
on this one.
I don't blame you for it though. I don't blame you. I don't know, man. It's just something. I don't know. I saw
What worries me about Santos is his strength of competition. I don't think
which
he hasn't fought the competition that Arce has fought.
and that's the and a lot of people I hear people say that, but my thing is with Santos, he's been handling that competition. Yes, Arce is basically the best fighter he's ever fought, in terms of his UFC career. But I don't know. I think he handles it. I really do. I think he arrives. I think he shines. And as a matter of fact, I think the fact that people thinking how you're thinking, the whole, oh, he hasn't really done much. I think that favors Santos in a way. Because think about it. If y'all thinking that way, let Arce come in that same way. You know what I mean? Again, most of the times when you're an underdog, you're playing with house money,
Yes.
right? And I think Santos understands. Look, all I got to do is show up. I just got to show up and fight. You know, I think he understands that. I don't know. I think RC slips up today or on Saturday. I really
I'll
do.
tell you what, I can't be mad at you for having Santos because he could go in there and knock Arce out in the first round. I can see that happening.
Right? Yeah. You know what I
He does a
mean?
lot of spinning attacks.
Yes.
And man, he has
That
some
that
vicious spinning attacks, man.
yeah. The weird unorthodox kind of attacks he does from like different angles where
He'll
like you
throw,
can't really prepare for that. That's not something you can prepare for.
he throws like
You
a
know.
spinning forearm that like you would see in WWE and just nails and just takes guys' heads off with it.
Right, like his fighting style kind of reminds me a lot. And I know this, I shouldn't say this name right now because he just lost, but Johnny Walker. That
Yeah,
weird, unorthodox style where like if he throws a punch and misses you, instead of just missing that punch and resetting, he'll miss it and then all of a sudden try to hit you with a spinning back elbow. You know,
yep.
and you know, I don't know. I feel like one of those spinning back elbows. Excuse me. I think those spinning back elbow. I think it'll catch one of them. I really do. Matter of fact, did you see Bellator? I forgot which Bellator was. The one with Sergio Pettis versus Horiguchi.
Yes.
I think it's gonna end like that, where like he's gonna miss and he's gonna be going back, and then all of a sudden RC is gonna like push and he's gonna miss, and all of a sudden that spinning back him, bang. That's just me.
And he does spinning kicks. I mean, he'll
He
attack you
does
all
it
kinds of
all.
ways, mate. He's crazy.
Oh yeah, he's insane, but god damn it, that's why I love him.
Before we move on to the next fight, Damien Hernandez said, "Question: is it me or main event cards are starting to get boring in UFC and boxing? Like the mid cards are more exciting to watch. If so, why you think these promoters aren't hyping up these mid cards?"
Mm. So, so first of all, you saying that you feel like some of the UFC cards are kind of boring, like the main event. For me, I always looked at it as not really the position on the card, but the fighters. For instance, Colby Covington, he's weak. He can't like when he makes contact, he hurts nobody.
Yeah.
However, he's got phenomenal wrestling. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna use the wrestling, right? Kamaru Usman, he's starting to get more comfortable. So he'll take it to the ground, but he'll also stand and bang with you. Who do you think is going to be more entertaining? Usman, because he's got hands.
Yes.
Who do you think will be more entertaining to watch? A Conor McGregor or I'll use the same name, Kamaru Usman. Who do you think will be more entertaining? Conor, right? Because of so for me, it just really comes down to like for like the fans who say it's boring, it comes down to what do you like to see? If you like dudes standing and banging, right? Like
Yeah.
if that's what you like, you're gonna gravitate towards the John Jones of the world, right? If you prefer a technical masterpiece, you're gonna lean towards the DCs, the Habib Nurmagomedovs, that type of stuff, right? Now, he did say something kind of interesting, where he believes the middle of the card, why don't they hype them up? The UFC and same thing with boxing, and honestly, I think boxing is starting to struggle with it. They have this thing where when they find a star, they latch onto it. it's easier for the UFC to make a star than it is for boxing. However, that's not to say that the UFC it's still easy for them, right? So I just think what it is by the time you have another star who did all the work to make themselves shine, I think they're so busy, so focused on capitalizing on the star that they have now, that by the time they realize they had another star, they're like, oh shit, oh man, Cheveya's coming
Yeah.
up. All right, now let's jump on that bandwagon. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you on that and on all that. Plus, I think it's the matchups. I mean, a lot of
Yep.
it, you can have two great fighters, but it's a lot of it's the way their styles match up. Is it going to make a exciting fight, or is it could make more of a slow paced, boringer fight? So that matchups, and that's something that's hard for UFC because you get these main events and they got big names, but the
Hmm.
matchup might not be good stylistically to make a good fight.
Yep. Yeah, and that's something people don't understand. You know, like some people say the matchups make the fight, but excuse me, I'm not really. I'm in the minority when it comes to this. If they get mad at me, I don't fully believe that. I don't think matchups make the matchups make the fight. Um, there's a couple reasons why I believe that. First and foremost, if there's a let's say there's someone that's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, right? And there's a UFC fight. He's going up against somebody who's just a boxer. Who do you give the edge to? Who do you think is gonna win?
You said jiu-jitsu?
He's a black belt Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and his stand up game is very good. He's got a very solid stand up game against a guy whose stand up game is subpar. Or I'm sorry, his ground game is subpar,
But he has
but
good
he could
boxing.
box. Right.
I'm gonna take the guy that can do both.
Right? You're gonna take the guy who do both? Well, guess what? You just picked Jose Aldo to beat Conor McGregor. You tell me how that went out.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know what I
Anything
mean?
can happen though. That's why I love the UFC because
Oh
you get
man,
fights like that.
dude, that honest, I think that's what really drew me to the UFC. Where like you could be a guy who's really, I don't want to say not all that good, but you could be a guy who's basically,
If you have that one punch knockout power,
you
you can
always
become a
have that,
star.
always have that chance, always have that chance. You know what I
Look,
mean?
look what Derek Lewis has done for his career with just having that. So I mean, I don't even know how you grade that power he has.
Right?
It's
That not him. Francis Ngannou.
yeah.
When he started getting confident in himself and he got it together, that rematch against Stipe, you know. So for me, I mean, and again, what Damien said, I get what he's saying about nowadays the mid card. But that's another thing we also got to take into consideration. A lot of these main eventers, when they get there, they get complacent.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They get complacent. That's why I argue to this day. That's why I personally am glad Chael Sonnen never won a title. He was close with Anderson Silva, but I'm so glad because, you know, a complacent Chael Sonnen, I don't know
Yeah.
about Chael, but I would never want to see that ever in my life.
Yeah, that's a big reason why you get some of these mid card fights that are so good because them guys are still hungry. They're trying to get that
Right.
payday still.
Right. So they're kind of just going for broke, you know? So
All right, let's move on to Hanson versus Rodriguez.
this is Jan. Which Rodriguez is this one?
What'd you
Oh,
say?
Jan. No, never mind, never mind.
Oh,
But every time I hear Rodriguez, I think of Jan.
this is Pereira
Yeah.
against Kay Hansen. And Rodriguez is actually the favorite in this fight, minus 128. Hansen's the underdog in this fight.
Which surprised me. I don't know about you, but that actually surprised me. I
Yes.
was looking at some of the odds earlier. When I saw that, I was like, "Are you sure about that?" Like, I really was just confused. This one, I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
because
the
Hanson's
under.
been like a minus 200 favorite in all of her UFC fights, and then
Every,
comes in this
every,
fight as an underdog.
exactly. Like, I'm not sure where that's coming from at all. I really don't. I don't know where that's coming from. I'm gonna take the under here again, but like I said, this one doesn't even really feel like me taking the under. It really doesn't feel like it because I don't understand how all of a sudden, like there's no injury. He's not hurt. He's not coming in compromised. I just don't understand where it came from. So I'm gonna take the under. I don't know why all of a sudden he's just an underdog. I don't know.
Yeah,
And Rodriguez isn't even his hardest opponent he's ever fought. So you know what I mean. So it's not like you're going high immensely in terms of difficulty. So why he's the underdog, Chris? I'll never know.
I'm going with Hanson as well. I don't understand how you're an underdog in this fight, but so I like we agree on this one. Uh, On the next one, you got Anthony Hernandez against Josh Fremd, and man, I can't see. There we go. Henderson's a minus 210 favorite. Friend's a plus 168 underdog in this fight. Who
No,
you
so
like
say
this
that one
fight?
more time. Say that one more
You have
time.
Anthony Hernandez is a minus 210 favorite against Josh Fremd, who's a plus 168 underdog.
I'm gonna take Hernandez. Um, Frim, I don't know. I'm not sold on Frim. I'm not. I think I hate him subconsciously. I
He
really think
has
I really do.
decent power, but he don't throw enough volume.
No, exactly. It's like he doesn't have that one hitter power, right? But he has enough to sting you. But
Yeah,
the problem is with him not throwing enough, you'll sting a guy, and then 20 seconds later he's recovered, and it's
and
like
you
no,
take
like
damage.
yeah, and it's like if you would have hit him two more times during that 20-second span, who knows what would have happened, you know? So
This is another one that we agree on because I like Hernandez as well in this fight. I'm the same way with Fern. Oh, he's having technical difficulties. I'm glad that he's trying to come on. So he don't have no power right now. But we both liked Hernandez in that fight. All right, well we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the next fight. And the card would be Oleski Olenek against Jared Vandrea. Vandrea is a minus 106 favorite, and Olenek is at minus 114. So this fight's almost a pick 'em. Olenek is 59, 16 and 1 in his career. He's 44 years old. He's 2 and 3 in his last 5. He has great grappling. If he gets you down, he's probably going to submit. He has 46 wins by submission, 8 wins by knockout, 5 wins by decision. Olenek's stand up isn't great. He's decent on his feet. He's decent at striking, but he's not a great striker. He said they probably got cricket Wi-Fi. But then Vandrea is 29 years old. He's 12 and 7. He's 1 and 3 in the UFC. He has good cardio, but he's only 2 and 3 in his last 5 fights. He throws good volume on his feet. He has 2 wins by decision, 7 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission. But he took this fight on 10 days' notice. And that's one thing that kind of scares me about this fight. But I think Vandrea is good enough on his feet, and he has enough power where he could hurt Olenek. I think Vandrea's takedown defense can be good enough to keep this fight standing. So I like Vandrea to win this fight at the minus 106 on the money line. All right, next fight is so I like Vandrea on the money line on that fight. Next fight we have is Mickey Gall against Mike Malott or Malott. Malott is a minus 210 on the money line. Mickey Gall is a plus 168 underdog. I've never been real big Mickey Gall fan. Even when he came in and called out, it was CM Punk, fought CM Punk. I mean, he's good. Or I ain't gonna say he's good. He's decent. He's not. Like Pride was saying earlier. I think before we even went on air, might have been on air, but he's not an elite fighter. And Mallett's good. Mallett's good. So this should be a real good fight. like I said, Gall's actually the underdog. Gall's 7-4. He hasn't fought in 6 years. So it's interesting to see how is he going to look after a 6-year layoff. Um, I mean, that sucks to have a 6-year layoff. Who knows how he's going to come back? He does have a 1-inch reach advantage in this fight. He has 1 win by decision, 6 wins by submission, 3 losses by decision. He's been knocked out 1 time. Malat is 30 years old. He's 7-1-1. He has good kickboxing. He has 3 wins by knockout or TKO, 4 wins by submission. He's a well-balanced fighter. I like Malat in this fight. I know he's the favorite. I like him at the -210. Might even take a double chance on FanDuel if I can get a little bit better odds. All right. 1 second, and we'll move on to the next. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. We have Aspen Ladd versus Raquel Pennington. Pennington is a -192 favorite. Ladd is a +154 underdog. Ladd's 27 years old. She's 9-2 in the UFC, 9-2 on her career. She has good grappling, 2 wins by decision, 6 wins by knockout or TKO, and 1 win by submission. Pennington's 33 years old. She's 13-8. She's a well-rounded fighter. Has 1-inch reach advantage. She has 8 wins by decision, 1 win by knockout or TKO, 4 wins by submission. I think Ladd is great, real good in grappling, but her striking's not terrible. I think her striking's good enough that's going to give Pennington trouble. Pennington's has decent striking, and you don't want to get taken down by her. But she has showed in her last fight you can hurt her. I think Ladd's going to win this fight. I think Ladd's takedown defense is good enough, or her striking's good enough to try to get in and get a takedown. And I think Ladd will be all right on top of Pennington in that position. So I like Ladd. I'm taking the underdog Ladd here at the +154. All right, next fight is Rosenstruck against Tybura. Rosenstruck is a -151 or -158 favorite. Tybura is a +128 underdog. Rosenstruck is 34 years old. He's 12-3. Good kickboxing. He's has 1 win by decision, 11 wins by knockout or TKO. But he's only 2-3 in his last 5, and he's coming off a loss to Curtis Blades. Tybura is 36 years old. He's 22-7. He's 4-1 his last 5, but he did lose his last fight, coming off a loss to Volkanovski. He has 7 wins by decision, 8 wins by KO or TKO, and 7 wins by submission. And he has good grappling. I like Rosenstruck in this fight. I think Rosenstruck's takedown defense is good enough that he's going to be able to keep this fight on the feet. I just don't think Tybura is good, has enough striking on his feet to keep Rosenstruck off of him. Tybura's going to have to get this fight and try to get them down to ground and pound. I think he's going to have trouble doing that. I like Rosenstruck in this fight at the -158. All right, next fight is Gary versus Dalton Weeks. Gary is a -385 favorite. Weeks is a +290 underdog. Okay, there it is. Gary is 24 years old. He's 8-0. He has good boxing, good grappling, pretty balanced fighter. He's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage in this fight. He has 2 wins by decision, 5 wins by knockout or TKO, and 1 win by submission. Thank you. Weeks is 28 years old. He's 5-1. He's a well-rounded fighter, has good boxing. His takedown defense is questionable. That's going to be the big key in this fight. He has 4 wins by knockout or TKO, 1 win by submission, and he's coming off a loss to Barbena. I like the underdog here. I like the big dog here at the plus 250, or excuse me, at plus 290. I think Weeks is going to be able to strike with Gary, and I think Weeks has a little bit more power. I see Weeks winning this fight. I think his takedown defense is going to be good enough to keep this fight on the feet. So I'm going with Dalton Weeks to pull the big upset in the last fight on the prelim card. All right, let's move over to the main card of UFC 273, Volkanovski and the Korean Zombie. First fight on the main card is Mark Madsen against Vink Pichel. Pichel's a minus 144 favorite. Madsen is a plus 118 underdog. Madsen is 37 years old. He's 11-0. He has good wrestling, decent striking. He's not an elite striker by any means, but he's also not a terrible striker. I'd call him a little bit above average striker. He has 5 wins by decision, 3 wins by knockout or TKO, and 3 wins by submission. Pichel is 39 years old. He's 14-2. He has good striking, good power as well. He's also decent at grappling. He has 6 wins by decision, 8 wins by knockout or TKO. But one thing about Pichel, he has poor takedown defense. I think Madsen is going to be able to take him down, land some ground and pound, and do some damage. So I'm going with the underdog at the plus 118 with Mark Madsen. Second fight on the main card, we have Mackenzie Dern against Tisha Torres. Dern is a minus 128 favorite. Torres is a plus 104 on the money line. Dern is 29 years old. She's 11-2. She has decent striking. Her grappling is where she really excels, but she's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage in this fight. She has 4 wins by decision, 7 wins by submission. Torres is 13-5, has decent striking, good wrestling, 11 wins by decision, 1 win by KO or TKO, and 1 win by submission. I think it's going to be a real good fight, but I think Torres is a better fighter on the feet. Torres' wrestling is good as well. Dern does have good grappling, so you have to be on the lookout for that. But I like the underdog in this fight as well with Tisha Torres over Mackenzie Dern. All right, next fight we have, which I wish Pride was still here because this would have been one we'd have been talking about. I know him or both of us would have had a lot to say about this fight. As you have Khamzat Chimaev against Gilbert Burns. Chimamev's a minus 550 favorite. Gilbert Burns is a plus 390 underdog. Chimaev is 27 years old. He's 10-0. And this dude just been dominant since he's been in the UFC. He has great striking, good power. 4-inch reach. He's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage in this fight. He has 6 wins by knockout or TKO and 4 wins by submission. He's not went a whole fight yet. He's ended all his finished all of his fights. Then you have Gilbert Burns, who's 35 years old. He's 20-4. He has great grappling. He has 6 wins by decision, 6 wins by knockout or TKO, and 8 wins by submission. I like Chimaev in this fight. I think he's better. He's going to be. He's better in the striking department. His wrestling is good enough to wrestle with Burns or to grapple with Burns. So I don't think Burns is going to have a big advantage in that. Uh, but the odds are just too. I mean, that's too much. The odds are just too much. Minus 550. There's no value there. But you can get Chimamev to win by TKO or submission at minus 210. Chimamev to win by TKO or on points at minus 180. What I like here is I like the Chimamev to win by KO, TKO, or submission at the minus 210. If you really think he's going to win by submission, you can actually get by submission or on points at plus 115. But I think it's going to be either a knockout or a submission. I don't see this fight going the distance. So I like Chimamev by TKO or submission at the minus 210 on that's on FanDuel on double chance. Will this fight go the distance? Yes is a plus 210, no is a minus 310. I don't think this fight will go the distance either. But I like Chimamev to win this fight. Then let's move on to our co-main event. All right, in the co-main event of the evening on Saturday night, UFC 273, you have Aljamain Sterling against Peter Yan. Yan is a minus 480 favorite, and Aljamain Sterling is a plus 350 underdog. Sterling is 32 years old. He's 20-3. He has good wrestling, good striking. He has 9 wins by decision, 2 wins by knockout or TKO, 8 wins by submission. He beat Yan his last fight by disqualification. Everybody remembers this fight last time they fought. Yan is 16-2. Great boxing, has great power. He has a 4-inch reach advantage, 8 wins by decision, 7 wins by knockout or TKO, and he does have 1 win by submission. Last time these two guys fought, Yan was clearly the better striker. And he was hurting Sterling. And he hit Sterling with that illegal knee when Sterling was down, and Sterling won the fight. I look for Yan to pretty much dominate this fight. I just think he's the better fighter. He is better in striking. He has more power. Sterling's decent striking, but he don't really have that one punch knockout power like Yan does. And I think Yan's grappling is good enough to keep Sterling from being able to submit him. So I like Yan in this fight. But again, the odds are just too high. Minus 480, there's no value. Let's see what we can get on double chance here. See if you like Yan to win by knockout by KO, TKO, or submission, you can get at plus 130. Yan to win by knockout, TKO, or on points is at minus 360. I could see Yan finishing him. I would probably lean toward that. The plus 130, Yan to win by knockout, TKO. Jan's not going to get a submission, though. So you're just basically hoping for a knockout if you do that. But you do get it at plus 130. I could see him winning by knockout or TKO. I really don't see this fight going the distance. I'm gonna go. I'll go with the Yan to win by knockout or TKO or submission at the plus 130. Unless I can get better. Let me see something. I might be able to get better odds. Method of victory. Let's see what I can get a method of victory. Yan to win by. That's what I'm taking. Yan to win by knockout or TKO at plus 165. I think Jan's going to win by knockout or TKO. So that's what I'm taking at the plus 165. Then in the main event of the evening, We have Alexander Volkanovski against the Korean Zombie. Volkanovski's a big, huge favorite at minus 850. The Korean Zombie is a huge underdog at plus 540. Volkanovski is 33. He's 23-1. He has good striking, decent wrestling. Has 9 wins by decision, 11 wins by knockout or TKO, and 3 wins by submission. The Korean Zombie is 17-6. He has a 1-inch reach advantage. He has 3 wins by decision, 6 wins by knockout or TKO, and 8 wins by submission. I don't see Korea Zombie winning this fight. But for him to win this fight, he's going to have to start fighting like he did back when he first came in the UFC, where he was almost out of control. Here later in his career, he's slowed down a little bit, and he fights a little more strategic fight. But I think if he does that against Volkanovski's going to put it on him. I think the only chance that he has to win this fight is he's going to have to fight like he did early in his career and just let it all go. He's got to go out there and just cut everything loose. I just don't see that. I just don't see that happening. But minus 850 there's no value there. Let's see what kind of value you get on the double chance. Volkanovski to win by submission or on points is at minus 190. Volkanovski to win by knockout or TKO or on points is minus 470. And Volkanovski to win by KO or TKO. Man, I mean, I can see Volkanovski winning this fight by finish. I'm gonna go with Volkanovski, but to win by knockout, TKO, or submission. I think he's. I don't think this fight's going to be a decision. I think Volkanovski's power is going to be enough to stop the Korean Zombie. So I'm taking the double chance, Volkanovski to win by finish, knockout or TKO or submission. All right, that's all the UFC fights for this weekend's card. Should be a great card. I think Pride's going to be doing a watch along for it. I'm going to try to join them. I'm going to be on the road on my way back. I'll either be on my way back home from a independent wrestling show that we're streaming live this weekend, or I'll be in a hotel. I'm going to try to join them guys on the live stream on Saturday night. I will have my official picks up on Friday on Easy Money, a sports betting show. On Friday's show, we'll give out our official picks for the UFC on this Saturday. But real quick before we get out of here, let's jump over into the NBA, and then I'll give out my picks of the day. Got a decent slate of NBA games tonight that we'll break down. Get that pulled over. Get switched back over to. All right. First game we have tonight in the NBA starts at 7:10 p.m. 7:10 Eastern time. You have the Dallas Mavericks against the Detroit Pistons. The Mavericks are 8.5-point favorites on the road. They are minus 390 on the money line. The Pistons are plus 310 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 219.5. The Mavericks are 49-30 on the season. They are 2-5 against the spread their last 7 road games. The Pistons are 23-56. They've won 3 straight games. They are 8-3 ATS their last 11 at home. I think the Mavs win this game. But I think 8.5 is being a little too generous. And the Mavs haven't been covering here on the road lately, and the Pistons have been playing decent at home. I'm going with the Detroit Pistons at the plus 8.5. Then you have, and actually in that one, I'm going with the over the 218.5 as well. I like the over the 218.5. All right, next game we have is the Brooklyn Nets at the New York Knicks, the Battle of New York. Brooklyn is a 5-point favorite on the road. They're minus 210 on the money line. The New York Knicks are plus 176 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 229.5. The Nets are 41-38 on the season. This will be the second game of a back-to-back for the Nets as they played last night. Seth Curry is questionable. For the Knicks, they're 2-10 ATS their last 12 games. They have not been playing good basketball as of late. I like the Nets to win this game. I'm not crazy about giving up the 5 points. But I do like the over the 229 in this game. Next game is the Washington Wizards at the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are 10.5-point favorites at home. They are minus 590 on the money line. The Wizards are plus 410 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 234. The Wizards are 35-44. They're not having a good season at all. This is going to be a second game of a back-to-back for the Wizards. Porzingis has been leading the team. The Wizards are 12-25-1 ATS on the road this season. The Hawks are 41-38, and the Hawks are good at home. They're terrible. They're not very good at all. They're terrible on the road, but they're pretty fucking good at home. So you got the Hawks at home. This is the second game of a back-to-back for the Hawks as well. And the Hawks are 35-43 ATS on the season. I think the Hawks win this game. I don't like the 10.5 points. 10.5 points is too many points, but I do like the over the 228.5. Then we move on to the Boston Celtics against the Chicago Bulls. The Celtics are 7-point favorites in this game on the road. They're minus 290 on the money line. The Bulls are plus 230 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 224.5. The Celtics are 49-30 on the season. They've been hot here lately. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. The Bulls are 45-34 on the season. They are 27-12 this year at home, so they have played well at home, and they are 25-13 ATS at home this season. The Bulls have been battling injuries. They just said Alonzo Ball's done for the rest of the season. The Celtics are playing better basketball than the Bulls right now. DeRozan dropped a bunch of points last night, and they still lost. I like the Celtics here at the minus 7. All right, next game we have is the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are 15.5-point favorites at home. They are minus 1,500 on the money line. The Thunder are plus 870 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 217.5. The Thunder are 23-55 on the season. This is a second game of a back-to-back for the Thunder. Thunder have not had a good year, but they have found ways to win some games, and they play teams tough. They have covered the spread. They've been a covering machine, especially the last month or so. But this is a second game of back-to-back for them, and they're missing their top 5 scorers. So they've been doing this. Listen to this. With their top 5 scorers out, they are 8-2 ATS their last 10 games. So, yes, maybe they might not be winning games, but they are being competitive. They average scoring 104 points per game. You have the Utah Jazz, who, when they're shooting the ball well from the outside, they're tough as hell. But if their threes aren't falling, they're really not that great of a team. This is the second game of a back-to-back for the Jazz. They're led by Mitchell at 26 points per game. They average scoring 113 points per game. And they are a whopping 0-7 ATS their last 7 games. I like the OKC Thunder in this game at the plus 17.5. The Jazz probably win this game, but I don't see them winning this game as a blowout at more than 17.5. So I like the OKC Thunder to cover. And then our last night game of the night in the NBA, you have the Phoenix Suns against the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers are 6.5 point favorites at home. They are minus 250 on the money line. The Suns are plus 215 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 223. The Suns have clinched, so they might not even play all their starters in this game. That's why they are underdogs. So sports books believe that the Suns are going to rest players, or they would not be 6.5 point underdogs in this game. The Clipper, I like the Suns in this game. Even if they don't play all their starters, they're going to be competitive. It's not going to be a blowout. I like the Suns at the plus 6.5, and I like the over at the 223 because I don't think there's going to be much defense played in this game. So I'm going to take the Suns at the plus 6.5. And like I said, I like the over the 223. As well in this game. All right, that's all the NBA games for tonight. Let's get to my picks of the day. In the NBA tonight. In the NBA tonight, I like the Detroit Pistons plus 8.5. The Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks over 228.5. The Celtics minus 7. Phoenix Suns plus 6.5. And I'm going to take the OKC Thunder at the plus 17.5 as well. So I think I'm going to give you guys a pick for every NBA game today then. So I like the Nets money line, or excuse me. So we'll go ahead and go with the I'm not giving you a pick for every NBA game. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. I didn't realize there was more games. Here's my picks of the day. Detroit Pistons plus 8.5. The Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks over 228.5. The Boston Celtics minus 7 against the Chicago Bulls. I like the Phoenix Suns plus 6.5. I like the over the 228 in the Suns and Clippers game. And I also like the Oklahoma City Thunder plus 17.5. So them are going to be my picks for today. I appreciate everybody joining us today. Don't forget, we're live every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. And then we're also live on the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. Make sure you subscribe to the Gonzo Sports Room page and subscribe to the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network. They have some great guys over there doing shows. I'm happy to be a part of it. So make sure you check them out as well. Like I said, we're live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern with this show. We also have a sports talk show that's live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be live tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern. So come join us tonight for that. Don't forget, we have a big interview this evening as well, here in just about 3 hours, as IPW Tag Team Champions. Dalton Love, Luke Savage Love is going to be live in studio with us at 7 p.m. Eastern this evening, talking about some matches they have coming up this weekend and just talking wrestling in general. So make sure you join us for that. That'll be on the at Gonzo Sports Room Networks. Appreciate everybody joining us. Don't forget, we also have a pro wrestling podcast, GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Go check it out. New episodes drop every Sunday at 9 a.m. You can find it on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find it at Gonzo's Wrestling Room. You can find the video version of Gonzo's Wrestling Room on our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room. So go check it out. We've done a WrestleMania recap show that we released on Monday. So go check it out. It was a real good show. Thank everybody. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate all your support. Don't forget, we have some new GWR shirts. They have front and back print. If you need one, get a hold of me. We have some on hand. Get them while they last before we sell out. We appreciate all the support. We will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Gonzo Sports Room Network and the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network. Thanks for joining us. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.